Hello everyone, today I'm here to talk to you about Shoot for the Stars. Now this is a trivia based game from Big Potato Games. They did send me the game to review. Of course that doesn't change how good it is. So roughly how does the game play? And then I'll sort of talk about my thoughts of it. So the way the game plays is you've got this deck of cards, no peeking because the answers are at the bottom. You're going to look at the box, which has a nice little hole through it for the question, and read it out loud. That could be something like, how many toilets are there in the White House or Buckingham Palace? You know, maybe how many windows are there on the Gherkin in London? That sort of idea, that sort of question. Now, at least two of those are actual questions. The other one I made up. So that is the sort of weird and wonderful questions that you're going to get asked in this. Now, the person that reads the question, they're going to make a guess, an estimate, and they're going to be sort of shooting for the stars. In terms of, you want to get as close to the number without overshooting it and going past. So, say you've been asked the question and you guess 50. Now, the next player around the table can decide, do they want to go higher than you and become the new ship captain? Do they want to just sort of guess that you're about right and don't want to up too much because they don't want to go over? Well, then they can just stay on the ship. Or they could go, no, that's too high, and get off. When the round ends, that is when it's gone all the way round the table back to the captain who made up the highest number. No one's decided to up it. Maybe they've got off, maybe they haven't, but no one's upped it. Then they're going to reveal the answer. Revealing the answer, you find out if that number was guessed is too high or not. If it's not, if it was under the actual answer, then everyone on board's going to get points, with the captain getting more. But if the number is too high, everyone that decided to get off and said, no, that is unreasonable, that's too high a number, they're going to be the ones getting points, and the captain even loses points, which is a good little twist because it just adds that extra tension of, do I want to sort of up this number? So now I've even started to say that, it is obviously after so many rounds, you add up your points and see who wins. Let's talk about the actual game. Now, I think I've done a relatively good job there of explaining how you play the game, but it is a little bit of a, right, everyone, we're going to play this game, this is how it's going to work. And as long as you go in and just say, right, answer this question, what do you think? Right, next person, do you want to go higher? Do you want to sort of say they're right, or do you want to say they're wrong? That with the theming, I like the idea, shooting for the stars, you know, overshooting, trying to get, you know, bang on the money, shoot for the stars. That theme there, it kind of makes sense. But staying on the ship, not staying on the ship, can confuse some people when you then lay it out for them in the terms of, do you think it's higher than that? Do you want to guess higher? Do you want to say stay at the same, or do you want to say no, they're wrong? People get that a little bit quicker, and then after that first round or two, they're like, oh, I understand this. This is how this is working. So from that point of view, it takes an extra minute to get to the table, but the logic of the gameplay I do really enjoy, of how far do you want to go? And some of the times we have all been sat around the table and gone, right, that's as far as we want to go. And we've been miles off the answer, sometimes miles above and sometimes miles below as well, which is entertaining because you think, well, we could have gone a lot further, but we all sort of chickened out thinking, that sounds about right. Or in some cases, everyone had got off thinking, no, that's definitely wrong. The captain got a chunk of points because they were the only one left. Now, is the game going to be around for a long time? Now, it could be for some people if you can forget numbers. Now, there is the case of some of the exact numbers, it's going to be really hard for you to actually remember, you know. But there's some facts that you'll at least remember the ballpark of them, and I think you could just about get away with it in this game. Because the ballpark means you know roughly the number, but you could still just about guess over or under. But once you've gone through the deck of cards, which is double-sided, and I'll commend Big Potato Games for that, that's a really good touch to have, you know, double the cards in the deck. I do wish that someone would develop a game like this with an app, sort of with questions, because that would just allow it to have a real longevity. I still think, you know, you don't go through hundreds of questions in a game, but once you've gone through that deck, I feel you'd leave the game on the shelf. It's the sort of trivia game, though, that at Christmas you're going to be able to get it out a load of times and play it and never have the same questions again, unless you start shuffling the cards, which I wouldn't advise. Just work through them, and it works for a family sort of game night, and that's where Big Potato Games really do normally aim their titles, and I think they've kind of, well, they've knocked it out the park, maybe into the stars with this one, because what do you want from a family trivia sort of game? Entertainment, laughing, going, no way is that right? And then it actually is right. And that's the sort of atmosphere you get from Shoot for the Stars. Yes, you've got the caveats of, for some reason, the theme just makes it a touch harder to teach, you know, that first minute. And I don't know, to be honest, I don't think another theme would have done better. And you've got that limited sort of deck, even though it's a good deck size, and you're gonna be playing many games before you start repeating. But when you do repeat, you do have the issue there. All in all, though, it's a great sort of trivia game, and you know, let's hope that lots of people do get to enjoy this one. That is Shoot for the Stars. And, well, check out other news, reviews and stuff on the channel. And I'm Oliver East, signing out.